Hello and welcome to the classroom on POV Nigeria. My name is Henry, your professor in practice. Interesting having you join us today, wherever it is you're watching us from around the world. And if you want to be part of our class, very so simple. All you need to do is go right now, subscribe to our YouTube page at POV Nigeria, so you can be part of our learning circle and a network. Today, interestingly, well, let's do some talking. It's official, ladies and gentlemen, that Nigeria has been designated as a country of particular concern, CPC, by the United States of America. How did we get here? What are the possible consequences? And, of course, what does this mean for Nigeria? That in a minute. Don't go anywhere. The classroom continues. I'll be right back.
The classroom.
Thank you so very much for joining us in the classroom. And of course, let's get talking. It's no longer news, ladies and gentlemen, that Nigeria has been designated as a country of particular concern. That is a CPC by the United States of America. What does this mean actually? Now, when a country is designated as a country of particular concern, what that means, that country, of course, is going against rights of religious freedom in its country, which means that the country finally has been allowing for egregious killing of religious sects in different parts of their territory, and that's basically what it means. But the big question is, how did we finally get here, ladies and gentlemen? Remember, this is not the first time. In 2000, Donald Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern. But of course, when the transition of government happened and Joe Biden took the position of power in the United States of America, Capitol Hill, that was removed, from Nigeria. Fortunately, but today we have Donald J. Trump yet again, and he has designated Nigeria as a country of a particular concern. But the big question is, how did we get here? Now, let's start from 2023, just before the elections, the general elections that happened February 25th, 2023. Remember the Muslim ticket. Now, a country of different religious sects, right? A country of different religious divides. And a party that wants to win elections allowed itself to go on the Muslim ticket. What does that mean? Does that mean that other nations are not watching? Do you think other countries are not concerned about some of the things happening in Nigeria? Remember that Nigeria is a country that the United States wouldn't want to mess around with, because we have lots of trade deals with the United States, and they wouldn't want to mess up such opportunity and their investments in Nigeria. So when we have a party, a political circle, where political parties are allowed to have Muslim tickets or Christian tickets, that is a red flag, ladies and gentlemen. So for lots of people who are asking, how did we get here? That I would love to believe is some of the areas or some of the ways we've gotten to where we are now, being designated as a CPC country. Then secondly, I love to believe lots of you have watched what happened at the favelas in Brazil, when the country actually went after criminal gangs in the country. About 146 criminal gangs were killed. 146, ladies and gentlemen. 146 criminal gang members were killed. And most of these criminal gang members are people who deal in hard drugs, cocaine, firearms, and so on and so forth. That raid was carried out, and about 146 of those criminal gangs were gunned down. Now, come to Nigeria. How do we do ours? How do we do ours? Just a couple of months back, we had that a particular rural community had a peace deal with bandits. And we saw these bandits. They came in their droves. They came in motorbikes. And they had a field day in the presence of the security, in the presence of the government, in the presence of rural communities. And they went back home. Nobody cared to say, how can we take care of these people? Remember, some of these bandits and insurgents are the ones putting Nigeria in a bad light right now. Some of these bandits are the ones that have made it possible for Nigeria to be designated as a country of particular concern. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that some of these bandits and insurgents have been fingered to have killed so many of our military officers, so many of our police officers. And these people would come have peace deal in our territorial area and no one cares to do anything about it, and you think other parts of the world are not watching. So for lots of people who are asking, how did we get here? That is exactly how we got here. Now let us go to the consequences of being designated as a country of particular concern. One of them is diplomatic pressure. Diplomatic pressure. So lots of diplomatic pressure would be mounted on Nigeria. And safe to say that when a country is designated as a country of particular concern, it actually doesn't affect the normal citizens. It doesn't affect you and I. It only affects those at the top echelon of government. It affects the president, it affects the vice president, it affects members of the parliament, it affects our governors, it affects other notable people and not common Nigerians because of this diplomatic pressure. This diplomatic pressure means that lots of our political figureheads would be restricted from moving from Nigeria to other parts of the world. Why? Because they had the opportunity of ending the gruesome killing of some religious sect, but deliberately refused to make that happen. So these are the possible consequences of being declared or designated as a CPC country. The second, this is number one, the second is economic measure. So economic measure is one of those big consequences that would happen in Nigeria as we have been designated as a country of particular concern. And what that means basically is lots of trade deals, right, that we would be having with the United States would have to nosedive. We would not have that opportunity again. Remember, Nigeria has about $7.8 billion of deals in the last couple of years. It means that being designated as a country of particular concern, all of that is gone down the slippery slope, unfortunately. The third consequences of being designated as a country of particular concern, number three, is international reputation. International reputation. International reputation. What that means basically is that all of the globe-trotting that our president Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been making, from Qatar to India to France to the UK, hoping to get investors to come and do business with us, lots of investors would not come to Nigeria any longer. Because when a country is designated as CPC, country of particular concern, what that means is a red flag actually. It means that that country is not good enough to have any sort of deal, any sort of investment in. It means that the investor money is not safe in a country that's been designated as a CPC. So what does that mean? It means all the hard taxpayer money, all the taxpayer money that we have spent on allowing our president globetrot all over the place to bring in investors is null and void. It's useless. That's basically what it means. And that's why it's very so important that leadership is at the core of everything that we do in the country. Now, these are some of the reasons, and these are some of the consequences that we would face as being designated as a country of a particular concern. Now, let's go to historical review to see countries that have been designated as CPC and what that meant for the country. Of particular interest, we have a laundry list of countries that have been designated CPC and what that meant for them. One of them is Pakistan. Another is North Korea. Another one is another one is Afghanistan. Afghanistan. Another one, of course, of interest is Sudan. Sudan is of great interest, and the reason is this. In 1999, from 1999 to 2005, Sudan was designated as a country of particular concern. Guess what that did to the country? What that did to the country was it gave the opportunity for Christian-dominated areas to gain independence, and that was how South Sudan was carved out of North Sudan. And that's why we have two Sudan now, the North Sudan, which is currently at war, and the South Sudan, which is a Christian dominated area in Sudan. So you can see how dangerous this is and why the government should not take this lying low. Remember, with the rift we have in the country, lots of ethnic divisions here and there. Some people are calling for succession, other people are calling for nations of their own. When issues like this are becoming very rampant in a country, what that might possibly do is the division of the country if the government does not check some of these things. And that is why we talk about leadership at the very core. When leadership is not there to give dividends of democracy, when the parliament are standing on the mandate rather than sit on the issues of great concern, when governors are jumping ship and plugging to the center because they want to win elections for personal interest and not dividends of democracy, these are some of the things that it leads to. It leads to a country of chaos. It leads to a country where nothing works. And unfortunately, Nigeria has been designated as a country of particular concern. The reason why we didn't feel the heat was at the time Nigeria was designated in 2000, Donald J. Trump left office and Joe Biden took office. Now Donald J. Trump will be here till 2028, which of course Nigeria would have to feel the heat. So I truly do hope that the government will do something about this and possibly see to it that all of these shenanigans happening, the killings that happen from Benue to Plateau to Kwara and so many other places would come to an end, especially with the chief of staffs and the military architecture, doing what they know how to do best. So that's all we have for our classroom today. And my assignment is this. Do you really think that a CPC designation on Nigeria was truly worth it, or was there a miscommunication on the part of Ted Cruz and his brothers who made this possible? Remember, you can send your answers on the comment section, and of course I'll be there to mark and grade you. You can of course be part of our class by joining in, that is, subscribe to our YouTube page and press the notification bell. My name is Henry, your professor in practice, and I'll see you on another class. Bye-bye.